You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Bada bing. Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I'm Rodney Rogers. That man right there is my partner, Coach Coy. How are you, brother?
I am doing good, Mr. Rogers.
How was your weekend?
It was good.
So was mine.
We did a lot.
Oh, well, this is our 1 hour vacation for the night, for the week. Actually, we consider this our 1 hour vacation.
It seems to be taking longer to recover these days.
It does.
Have you noticed that?
It's a couple of days. It used to be like 15 minutes. Now
You just jump back up.
turn in the next day, and now it's. I'm still recovering actually.
You know, every day it seems like there's something more that makes me worry about myself.
The new aches and pains.
Yeah, and the
whatnot.
memory.
And the memory.
And the stupid things.
Real.
Yeah, you want to hear something I did?
I want to hear.
I'm going to
something.
admit this.
Admit it. I want
I
to
think
hear.
my wife's the only one who knows it up to this point because I was all alone when it happened.
It's not a red rash or
Nope.
anything of the sort. Okay.
Nope. Nothing I need to have checked out at this point. I pressure washed the drive.
Yes. Okay.
Actually, Kim was at a show out of town, and I drove back to strictly pressure wash the drive on a Saturday.
Right. I remember you telling me.
Yep. And I one thing I hate when I start a project is having to leave the house to go to the hardware store to
Stop
go.
anything to get.
Yeah. In this case, it was like, oh, the pressure washer is almost out of gas.
Ah.
I'm like, it was the first excuse I needed
Right.
to not pressure wash. I went, no. I've driven all this way, and so I went digging through the gas cans in the garage, and I found one with some gas, and I'm like, score. I don't know how far it's going to take me,
Right.
but I can make a good chunk of progress.
Right. Right.
So I emptied out the gas can, shook it loose, got every bit of it in there, and turned around, and I put all the gas on the lawnmower.
In the lawnmower.
Well, out in the middle of the drive sat the pressure washer going, hello, hello. I'm like, oh, this is not good.
So did you mow the lawn instead?
No. I sucked it up and went and got some gas before I started my
With
project.
the lawnmower full.
But it's little things like that just start
Yeah.
hinting, going, pay a little more attention, old man.
Amen. If you want to be involved in the show tonight, you can hashtag us on the Twitter at hashtag RROR. Shoot
Yep.
us any questions.
Yeah, do it.
We'll answer your questions. I hope we got some seasons coming up. We'll be happy. Definitely call the show if you have any questions. 262-345-7763. I think it's like right there. You can see it right there.
Got all that.
Shoot us. Oh, and the hashtag is up there as well.
Yep.
It's right in front of me actually. Poof. You got your hashtag there.
You know what I did this weekend?
What
I'm not a horse. I don't know why.
What'd
I
you
went
do?
camping.
Did you go camping?
Yes.
You know, it's funny because I went camping as well, Mike.
Thought I saw you there.
Yeah.
Someone looked vaguely familiar like you.
Yeah, it looked just like you.
So this weekend was the second biannual.
Which was awesome. This was our second
It's our second annual.
annual. Is that do we call it?
We missed a
annual?
year.
We missed.
You know, we've only been doing this for 2 solid years, but we did it our first month out of the gate.
Yes, we did.
So
actually.
that was So,
And something happened the second year. We couldn't do nothing, and then we planned this trip. And man, Mike, on a success scale, 1 to 10, what did you say it was?
No, I think it was a 10. I don't know how you can argue with it.
I as well. Everybody had an absolute blast.
I think everybody had a good time. It always, we quadrupled I think we probably quadrupled the attendance.
Oh, definitely.
And probably the number of tents as well, appropriately so.
Absolutely.
But it always creates new and interesting challenges and successes and everything else because it's you bring people who literally don't know each other together for a couple of days.
That is the most people I've ever cooked for. I think I can be assured. Honestly, I think that's absolutely.
You know how when you go to, or we used to go to grandma's house for the holidays.
Yes.
And grandma spent all her time just cooking.
Yes.
That was you this weekend. you're always in the kitchen.
I definitely stayed busy. I really didn't have time to drink. I mean, sitting by the fire at night was my relaxing time, and
That's
man,
nice.
was that awesome. I mean, we had a
Well, first of all, the weather was absolutely perfect.
absolutely impeccable.
It was absolutely
Impeccable.
perfect. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I want to before we go farther, I want to
Yeah.
say special thanks
Oh yeah.
to a few people who really, for me personally, just made the weekend an incredible success, and they were just key to it. Randy McCall and his fiance Brittany.
Yep.
Right. Brittany Frazier.
Yep.
They provided one of the boats that helped take people back and forth.
Thank you so much.
And Randy was there along with Gary McCall Jr.
Yep.
Just solid. I mean, they were there to go camping as well, but their work ethic and their they were just always there. If somebody needed to take a ride back to their car at 2 a.m, he put them in the boat and took them. Gary McCall Sr.
Yep.
For loaning his pontoon and being out there and driving back and forth. Of course, Todd Anderson.
Todd, man.
Just a solid staple. This is my first time meeting these people, and it was that for me was the highlight of the weekend.
Absolutely.
Meeting these guys and just seeing them.
Nick Huckabee for pulling in the absolute.
He was your, as always, your right hand man.
Right hand man. He can almost read my mind.
I mean, I gotta say, Rodney and Nick is synonymous for just. I mean,
that's true. I mean,
it really was.
I mean, we kind of worked
when you were cooking, he was cooking, and vice versa. And
yeah,
you both sacrificed your shelter to.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So other people could have their shelter.
Which I'll tell you the truth, I'm way better in a hand. I just can't sleep on the ground anymore.
Yeah.
My body just don't do well.
You're certainly safe from most of the critters running around.
The ground critters. Yep. We're a little off the ground. We slept in hammocks this weekend, so that was absolutely awesome. We had 30. Right at 30 people?
Right at 30 people.
Yeah, so we had right at 30 people.
Yeah, we posted a picture. I didn't even count the people in the picture, but not everybody was in the photo. My wife, for one, who actually was taking the photo.
6, I think, in the picture is what I counted.
But people come and gone. My daughter stayed the first night, but gone, and I think other people would. So I think it was probably right about 30 if you totaled it out.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can go to your Facebook page, the Rodney Rogers Facebook page. As many photos we could get our hands on. People and other people had uploaded some. It was great seeing things pop up that I'd never seen. You posted a very nice one of you. You will always.
Did you? Okay.
It was very nice. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Comment, but it's nice. I love so other people. I'm encouraging you to throw your photos up there.
Definitely, we love seeing them. And I've got to look through them and see pictures that I didn't know were taken.
Mm-hmm.
So it was absolutely phenomenal.
And I did the best to shove as much of them onto a photo album up on your. Rodney Rogers Outdoors.
And I think
website.
I uploaded. Unfortunately, I didn't take as many as I thought I did because I think I was just so busy.
You were busy.
That I just didn't get as much as I'd hoped.
When you look at the photos and you can just count the percentages of how many photos Rodney's cooking in the pictures.
90%, wasn't it?
It's there, yeah.
So our menu consisted of shish kebabs first night with ribeye and onions and peppers and mushrooms and
I'll admit I'm one to say that it's good when it actually wasn't.
Right.
But it was actually very good.
Yeah.
Both breakfasts. I mean, this was a bring your own food kind of thing.
Right.
But it still didn't stop you from cooking almost every meal for everybody.
Yeah.
But Rodney, it was delicious.
Well, thank you, man. I definitely brought enough food that I wanted to get rid of it. You know what I mean? I still brought eggs home. We still brought steaks home. I mean, we had steak and eggs for breakfast. Where do you do that?
Yeah, we brought rations just in case, but didn't have to dig into them because the food was A1.
It's awesome. So it was absolutely. If you missed it, man, we've already booked the island for next year.
And the fact of the matter is, it was just it was relaxing.
Yeah,
it was what I wanted to be.
Yeah,
we went camping and a bunch of people came and we had hot dogs and s'mores
and what you'll notice is there really wasn't as many phones out as I thought was going to be out. Most people didn't have their phone out, so it was I was absolutely thoroughly impressed. So. Did you get a note over there?
No, yeah. Todd is obviously watching tonight. Thank you, Todd. So it was nice to meet Kim and myself, and he definitely posted a bunch of photos on on your and tagged Rod's personal.
Oh
page,
yes,
so,
he did
yeah.
actually.
So,
Yeah, so I need to move those
yeah,
over.
please do, because I'll grab them from there and put them on the
Yeah.
website so that we've got a compilation.
Yeah, I
of
haven't even
everything.
had time to look through that. That's right. I remember now.
Randy McCall says, anytime I'm ready to go again.
Yeah, he's ready
That's
anytime.
great.
We can call him right now and go camping right now. I believe he would be.
Not to mention we had our own personal floating light parade.
We did. How awesome was that?
I don't know who posted that picture today.
That
was actually a really good picture with Krista.
Oh,
and Jordan in the water with their hands up.
One of the guys that came over.
Perfect.
Oh, I forgot his name. Chris, I think it was.
Okay.
Might have been Chris.
It was a great photo, though.
Yeah, with Chris and Jordan standing in the water watching the boat parade. So basically, what happened there? Did you know what happened there? Randy came up and said, "Hey, man, let's go chase that boat parade down. There's like a head boat up there I can see." So him and I took off. We're off across the lake. And then, flashing the lights, because, Russ kind of put out the challenge. I bet you can't get that boat parade to come over here. You can't.
Because we were pretty alienated. There was no lights or houses or anywhere.
Right.
Where we
no
were.
one knew we were there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I told Randy, just off as we approached. So I yell out, "Hey, Captain." He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, we got 35 people on the island over here. What's the chance of you swinging by the boat parade?" He goes, "Over to camping area?" I said, "Yep," because we're on our way. The guy didn't even question. He just turned the whole boat parade around and off we went. And,
yeah, we hooted and hollered, and we were probably the only cheering squad they actually got that night.
So everybody else was probably pretty much asleep. So
it was an absolute ton of fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better trip. I mean, it certainly turned out way better. You always stress out on those things. You wonder if the food's going to be good. You wonder
there's a lot going on. And even, we had people just show up because they'd heard about it and grab their stuff. And Susan came out and we didn't.
Awesome. Yeah.
I respect and admire that kind of, because Susan actually said, I figured it'd be like-minded, have a good time. And that's the key.
What we're looking for.
Like-minded people.
Like-minded people. And you and I have said it many times. We're going to do this. We're here. Just come on out, That's absolutely hit it right on the head.
Dawn Anderson says Riley had a great time for her first time out like that. Yeah,
that's right. The baby was out there. There was kids out there.
Yeah,
we had this tightrope walkathon
bizarre
thing going on. That was
we were like our own little outdoor camping Cirque du Soleil.
The wipeouts were way.
We probably should put some videos actually up on the website. Make a compilation. We'll make a compilation.
Yeah, because tonight we'll download my videos off my phone into.
Okay.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll
do that. Let's do that. We'll just make a quick synopsis.
Jam them fall downs in slow mo.
And it was educational as well. I learned about lighter.
My question a few minutes ago when I said, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah.
Was, did you learn anything this weekend?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, was there anything you picked up over the weekend?
Well, and I mean this sincerely, when you hang out with people who are true outdoors people and raised camping and hunting and fishing, and when you're passionate about something, you love to chat about it.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, I think this is why we do this show, for people who just love to consume more of the outdoors.
Absolutely.
Even when they're not outdoors hunting, talking about fishing and hunting and just having a good time. But you can't hang out with a group of people like yourself and not learn something.
That's
if you don't, you're not paying attention.
That's exactly right.
And I was fascinated by it was like a hands-on, first front row seat of, a campfire starting. And
you know what, when
I
Gary
knew what that was before.
Explained the light or not to you, I mean, that is literally textbook perfect explanation. I mean, that is light or not.
It was perfect. And but you want to make sure when you're smelling the light or not to touch your nose, because then it's sticky the rest of the night.
Oh yeah,
because it's close.
Did you get a little too close?
Yeah, a little too close. Okay. But it smells like Christmas in a pine cone.
That's exactly right.
That was really good.
So yeah, and that's if you don't know what light or not is, it's the actual heart of pine that's super flammable, and it burns like crazy and burns for a long time.
Well, I'm always concerned about not getting the fire started in time before sunset hits, and but we had a fire going the entire time.
Not once did it ever die.
By the time the sun was down Friday night, the fire was burning, and we had to put it out when we left on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So that,
and boy, did we put out a mean
there's
fire.
there's something comforting as if the fire's going.
Oh yeah,
That's comfort.
yeah.
It's like your lifeline for some reason.
Absolutely. And it's key when you're camping to wake up to a built fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
really is.
Yeah.
To me, that sets the day. Yep. When you wake up and your fire's already there going, it is absolutely setting the day. I'm sorry, I'm getting pictures and stuff over here. So it's important to keep that fire going the whole time. And we did. And you know what the best part is? We left that campsite 100% poof, like there was never anybody there.
Well, and meeting Gary.
Yes.
Yeah,
my brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law. I'm passionate about
Absolutely.
that as well. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. That makes total sense. Because I said, Rodney's definitely carrying the torch on that one, because that's definitely something you preach and follow through and live wherever we go.
Now, being, younger than my sisters, Gary was taking me camping when I was 10 years old. When he was my dad, and, and all of us he was basically the learning hub of, what I learned about camping.
So he was one of the big conduits for your outdoors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And keeping things clean was absolutely his pet peeve. Always has been. As you can see, it still is. And I haven't camped with Gary in quite some time, probably once in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And he hasn't changed. It's the same guy, same dude doing this. Same
way from the weekend, and then we'll move on, because as always, we've got way too much stuff we're trying to cram in one bucket.
Well, I knew this was going to be a talk about episode.
But here's my takeaway. And it goes back to kind of what we started from the beginning. No offense, Rodney, but it's not about Rodney Rogers. It's about getting people outdoors.
That's exactly right.
Your kids get outside and stay. It's not even get outside with me.
Nope.
Get outside with us. Get outside.
Period.
Because it's a really cool place out there. And we said it this week, and you have to force, sometimes for some people are a little more city people, and you have to force yourself to shut down.
Yeah.
And it's not till almost after the exercise of the camping trip is over that you realize how therapeutic that was to make yourself shut down like that. And but I think this weekend, I think there were some people who definitely got outside as using this camping trip as a conduit. And whether they were whether people come to a camping trip last year or next year, whatever, and become, there's so many people there.
Right.
That there is a little bit of, you've got your family. If you just come to an event and camp in the corner with your family, I think that's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Because you're outside, and that's all we're preaching. Get outside.
And sometimes, and I've always said this, and I like being that guy. Sometimes you just need backup.
That's it. That's it.
You just need someone that knows where to go, knows what to do.
You're the security blanket.
Exactly. And when you got that person out and do it.
Yeah.
We had Russ Rollins from the Monsters, who that's just not his thing. I can assure you it's his thing now.
Yeah.
He relaxed. He got in the mode. And he admittedly had a fantastic time, and at first he was very reluctant, not sure it was his thing. And man, poof, we got a camper for life, I believe, and so many first-time campers.
It's a process.
Yeah. Our first trip out, we had the same first-time campers on that trip as we did this trip.
Yeah.
If you notice, I think everybody that was on the first trip was there on this trip,
minus
with the exception of Nico. Yeah. So, for all of you that came out, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough for making this a complete success. I had the time of my life, meeting a lot of new people. It was the people we thanked earlier, Randy, Gary, Nick, Todd. I mean, just wow. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because they went along for to be part of the fun and the event of it all, but they were solid. Fill in the blank.
Yes.
Just I had my hats off and my utmost respect and admiration.
And thanks to the city for going out of their way, getting us this spot. And of course, you're
most of all,
your amazing wife.
Let me flash some lights and put it in capital letters. to my bride Kim
Yes.
that really
Yes.
when she takes the unsung hero
I
award
agree.
of this
Yes.
camping
She
event because
does.
I dare say that if it wasn't for her, we would
She
have been
saved us.
we had been
on
sleeping
this one.
downtown Orange Avenue.
You're right. And just so you know, we took all our trash with us. We didn't leave it for the city to pick up. I cleaned out every barrel, every trash can, every bag, everything came with us. So we left absolutely nothing behind.
Good
that
for
we
you.
were even there.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be happy.
Rightfully so.
We're happy.
Allow us back
Oh,
again.
hold on. We got
It's one of my favorite sounds that goes
got
on.
a call on the hotline. Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. This is Rodney.
The thing I like is how we figured out how to make the coffee.
How are you, Gary? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
So I take it you're listening to the show. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is, dude, we can't thank you enough, man. For the boat, the whole spiel, you only heaven sent.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, anytime he, put something together like this, I'm in.
Oh, good deal, man.
I had a great time.
Because I know we're trying to put something together in the next month or so, just, for some family. And I know we're going to keep you in touch on that one because we're wanting to go do an island trip no matter what. So I know we're definitely going to be putting something together then, Gary. And thank you so much. I mean, you've definitely ingrained, the camping bug into me years and years and years ago, probably 30 years ago, I'd say.
Good ethics.
Or more. No, 37 years. And I can't thank you enough. You've raised your boys to do that. And, man, great job, brother. I mean, you're really
But I agree with you, Gary. I'm impressed on how they made the coffee. I'm quite honest with you. I'm not still how they did it, and I don't know that I want to know. But we had coffee.
We did have coffee. Did you enjoy the coffee?
Oh yeah, it was a lifesaver.
Yeah, amen. I was a little worried how we were going to do it, but we just made shift it, and I said, okay, well, let's just get these grounds in the water. We'll figure out how to sift it.
I'm one of those ones who subscribed. I need a good cup of coffee in the morning. I need a cup of coffee that's good or bad. I need a cup of coffee.
Well, thank you so much, Gary, man. I can't thank you enough. We'll keep you updated on the next trip.
Gary,
all right, man.
Thank you for
Gary.
calling, buddy. Oh, wait, Gary, we got to give you one more thing. You ready for this? For all new callers, we get to Goose the Moose. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sounds
just
like a moose. Did you enjoy that as much as we did, Gary? I hope so.
We love goosing that moose. All right, buddy. We'll see you later. Thanks a lot. Awesome guy. And we got to goose the moose, man. That was awesome.
Hey, just so you know, Todd says they're happy that it's clean and the bathroom fans are fixed now.
Awesome. Now, man, woo, we won't even go there. That one was absolutely rough.
And those who didn't make it, thanks for bearing with us as we walk down reminiscent memory lane there for a couple of minutes. Sorry you weren't there. There'll be another.
That's certainly be another trip. I see this becoming a thing.
Yeah.
So Mike, we got another call coming in.
I'll take them all night long, Rodney Rogers.
We can do this kind of what we do. Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. This is Rodney.
Hey, brother. I just wanted to tell you, looked like y'all had fun, and hopefully me and Bill can do it with you next year.
Well, keep you updated, and it'll be a little closer to home. That one was a little bit far away, and I hope you can make it out there. I know Mom's listening, so maybe we'll drag her out there.
Yeah, I didn't want to try it this year because of Mom.
No, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, for those
priorities are straight. That's good.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for calling, sis, and I love you.
I love you too.
All righty. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love it.
So we know we got a full camping site next year.
Bring the family.
Bring the whole family.
If you can hear me, bring the family.
Everybody
bring the family.
So, Mike, what you got over there? What you got going?
Well, we do have some news I want to touch base that will be kind of irrelevant next week. So let's talk a few things. And one that I haven't sunk my teeth into, but the Trophy Catch Awards.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know why you're not participating in this more, Rodney, because you catch bass.
Yes, I do.
All year long.
Yes.
Listen to this. And the winner is, this is last December 5th, the 4th. So last Friday, I'll make sure I got my dates right. Either way. The The winner is Ed Prather, who is 41 from Middleburg, I guess, Florida.
Yep.
The FWC randomly selected Prather as the winner.
Randomly?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Of a $40,000 Phoenix bass boat.
Right.
A young lady from the audience at Bartow Ford, where you and I both bought our cars.
Yep.
Winter Wonderland event from the weekend pulled his name from a bucket containing the names of the 5 trophy catch finalists. So in the bucket,
Right.
drew the name $40,000 bass boat. Here's the keys to your car. The 5 finalists also had previously been selected from randomly. Here's how it works.
Okay.
The 5 finalists previously selected from randomly 11,230 individuals who registered free of charge at trophycatchflorida.com.
Now, does it tell you the size bass that the 5 finalists caught? I know the largest, I think, was up to almost 16.
Well, no, let's see. The Citizen Science Conservation Reward Program for anglers who catch, document, and release largemouth bass greater than 8 pounds.
Yes.
Each season they have a drawing from the registered anglers for a boat. So obviously,
yeah, the smallest one of the 5 was around the 14-pound range.
Let's see. Prather had a 10-pound, 4-ounce bass.
Is he in the top 5?
He was the winner. Well, let's see. Let's see. Every document endpoints. The odds of being one of the finalists were 5 in 28,260. That was the odds of being one of the finalists.
Okay.
Prather had 10 pounds, 4 ounces from the Rodman Reservoir. Where's that at?
That's Palatka area.
Okay. And previously submitted an 8-pounder that qualified for big catch before he knew that you had to have a photo of the entire bass on the scale to qualify for the trophy catch reward.
Yes.
So obviously blew that one.
Okay, so we'll get in that next year.
But I just think that you got to go to the website and wrap your head around.
Right.
There's all kinds of breakdowns of prizes that happen even throughout the year.
Yeah.
And there's different prizes and qualifications. There's a category for children, and
I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll get serious in it this year. And I was going to do it last year, but I just didn't fish that much. I did catch an 8-pounder. I caught one like almost 9 pounds, just under 9 pounds. It was like 8 pounds, 11 ounces. And I thought about the trophy bass, and I could have popped it in there, and I didn't, and I should have, because we've talked about it a million times. So this year I will crack on it. I will
trophycatchflorida.com. You need to go there and just read through it. It's actually a fun site. It's very well done, and it's very easy to understand.
You never know when you're going to get that.
You never know.
Fish.
How many photos, even just casual fishing, do you have of you catching bass over the last year?
Tons. I mean, many 6 and 7s, but only a couple over 8. I did catch a 9-pounder this year.
Prather says, I look forward to representing Trophy Catch when people ask me about the program. Rightfully so. He plans to stop by Bass Pro Shop 5:30 p.m. when the FWC staff will be honoring 15 anglers who entered a total of 17 Hall of Fame bass weighing more than 13 pounds each.
Yeah.
They'll also give him the season 3 championship ring at that time.
Right on. So we'll get in it next year. We'll see what happens.
I just think it's very well laid out. They do a good job of giving incentive for people to
get involved,
catch and release, and document their bass fishing.
Make sure you get the whole fish on the scale in the picture. That's the key. That's the absolute key.
So much to do. Do you have any top moves, Rodney?
I do.
We got a few more here, but let's keep it rolling. What do you got?
I've got here's what I want to talk about, and we can save this one for last. It's the alligator that ate the burglar.
I've heard about this, but I haven't seen the details.
Okay, so here's these gentlemen were basically the 2 guys says, look, tell their girlfriend we're going to go basically burglarize some houses. Basically, they're going through backyards, see what they could steal and stuff like that. Well, the police department gets a call, and they say there's these 2 guys dressed in black, 2 males dressed in black. 22-year-old Matthew Riggins told his girlfriend he would be in Barefoot Bay to commit burglaries with another guy. So cops run out. They see the cops. They run. Cops are looking for him. Matthew hides in the water in Barefoot Bay. Now, They didn't find Matthew for 10 days. The next day, he was reported as a missing person. Oh. Hold on. This is my. I think this is the computer.
I think we just found your missing person over there.
Yeah, it's the computer. So it took them 10 days to find Matthew. When they found Matthew, they found a 11-foot alligator being very possessive over Matthew's body with some parts and pieces missing. And when they euthanized the alligator, they killed the alligator, they found those parts inside the alligator. Now, according to their story, they believe the alligator is what killed Matthew because he had drowned. You know, they believe the alligator was the cause of the drowning.
Okay. I
personally do not. Because just to give it a shot, if the alligator would have been attacked, nothing left of Matthew over that 10-day span.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we've had good heat. It's not like it's been, super cold that he can't digest. So I just feel that Matthew, my personal opinion is I feel that Matthew just got in and drowned. Maybe he got in a pickle. He was fully dressed. He got in a position he couldn't get out of. Water temperature, hypothermia, a lot of things.
The gator just did cleanup.
The gator just found him a few days later. That is my theory. I could be wrong. I just don't see this alligator doing that right off the bat in cool water. So that's just, they recovered him 10 days later. So I feel like the alligator's getting the raw deal. So, I'm glad they did it because, anytime you eat even a dead body, it's got to be. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there.
Well, if you hadn't noticed, Rodney, it's December.
Yep, it is definitely December.
And just like our show, it's a month that just seems to scream on by, and before you know, it's done.
It's over. It's Christmas. We're singing Happy New Year.
But your dear friend Tony Young from the FWC posted a really cool article on the FWC website called 4 Great Hunting Opportunities to Enjoy This December.
Okay.
Basically highlighting the seasons that are going on now. So I just wanted to peruse really quickly through these, just to let people know that it's December, but there's still opportunities to get outside and hunt. Waterfowl and coot season
comes up this weekend.
Look at you.
It's the beginning of the second phase this Saturday, which I'll be out there, by the way.
I didn't clue him on this, folks. He knows. 12th.
December 12th.
Statewide, December 12th, and runs through January 31st.
And we're going to take Todd to get his first alligator.
Talking about the weekend being education, one of my most fascinating times. I love to watch you in your element.
Right.
And when you're just discussing in a very natural environment things of the outdoors. And we got on the conversation of tags.
Oh, yes.
And that as well I found very educational. So when I was reading this, it's reinforcing. And in addition to the usual hunting license and permits required, duck hunters must also have a waterfowl permit and a federal
migratory bird
and
duck stamp.
Yes,
absolutely. Depending on, remember, if you hunt a management area, you also have to have a management area stamp. So if you hunt the Emeralda Marsh management area specifically for ducks, you not only have to have the management area stamp, you also have to have the $25 Emeralda Marsh stamp. So that's 7 stamps for that one hunt.
And this says, or you may opt to get a lifetime sportsman license instead, and that license allows you to hunt and fish in Florida for the rest of your dad-burn life.
Natural-born life.
Even if you move away or no longer a resident. So parents, think about that as a possible holiday gift.
It is
for your outdoor youngster.
It's perfect for a youngster.
That's a really brilliant idea. Go to gooutdoorsflorida.com and you get all the information on that. Duck bag limits, blah blah blah. Let's move on. Oh, man, time just does not a friend. Woodcock season.
I'm going to do that this year.
For something different, try woodcock hunting. What is a woodcock, Rodney?
A woodcock is a bird that has a real long beak that kind of runs in the marsh. I mean, they're kind of marsh birds, almost like snipes. The snipes are real.
Yeah, I was gonna say you saw that look in my eye, didn't you?
I did immediately. Snipes are real. So you know the old adage when your parents used to say, "Hey, go
Snipe
outside,
hunting, yeah.
get a paper bag and pot and pans." Well, that's not really how you catch snipes. But there are snipes. So there's a real snipe out there.
December 18th through January 31st as well. Excellent game birds because they hold well for pointing dogs.
Oh, they do actually.
And provide a challenging shot when flushed. The daily bag limit is 3. Number 3 opportunity for some December Christmas hunting is the dove season.
Mm-hmm.
This third phase of mourning and white-winged dove season opens again this weekend, December 12th, and runs through January 15th. The daily bag limit's 15 birds.
15 birds.
15 birds.
Used to be 12. They must have upped it at some point. I don't know when that point is because I haven't hunted dove in a long time. It's actually hard to get. Right now, it's hard to get a dove hunting area. It really is. Used to, back in the day, we'd see an orange grove. We'd pull over and hunt.
Yeah, because where would you go?
Yeah, the fields,
park?
orange groves. Yeah, right now, there's really, I mean, you can go to management areas, but if you go to the management areas and you're hunting where you're allowed to dove hunt, there's also deer hunting going on.
Yeah.
So you're out there firing 50 shots at doves while people are trying to, it's kind of they do have small game areas up in Inverness and
yep.
that stretch here, Chastity.
We got some serious Indian names going on.
There's actually a small game hunting area up there where you can only do dove, quail, woodcock, those types of things. I think they finally allowed wild boar on that because there was loaded with boar. I'm not sure. You may have to have a special tag for it if I'm not mistaken. But I'm trying to think of the name of that area. But it's right there between Chastity and Inverness. Crystal River.
Okay.
There's a little small game area right in there in Citrus County. So check that out. That's actually a really good small game area. Tons of quail used to be up there when I used to hunt it. So it's been a while. So maybe we'll go back this year and just do
fourth hunting season that runs from December 1st through March 31st. There's no daily bag or season limit.
What? That is escaping me.
Like foxes, bobcats.
Really?
Maybe chase you around with dogs, but possessing firearms during the close season between April 1st and November 30th is prohibited.
Bobcats, huh?
It is bobcat season. I thought
there was a bag limit on those, huh?
No daily bag limit or season limit. That is right. Folks, if you want the real dad burn truth, go to the FWC. They are the gospel when it comes to Florida outdoors rules and regulations.
That is something I didn't know. You just taught me something.
There we go.
Maybe years ago, bobcat did have a limit. I just haven't seen that many bobcats.
Yeah. So December is the hunting one of the next one out of the mouth. December has the hunting opportunities you're looking for, whether you are upland bird hunting with family and friends, shooting ducks on the pond with your favorite lab, or taking that stealthy bobcat as he slips up behind an unsuspecting fawn.
Don't be the fawn.
Here's wishing you a happy holiday and successful hunting season. Yours truly. Love, kisses.
And you can use electronic calls.
I added all that.
That's all.
Tony Young doesn't.
I like the little kiss thing. Did you get that, Tony? You can use electronic calls when you're predator hunting, such as coyotes, bobcats, something like that. You cannot use electronic calls any other time. If you're hunting deer, or ducks, or something like that. So the only time you can use electronic calls is predator hunting.
Interesting. That's very little subtleties you want to know, or unless you like prison.
Alligator falls in that parameter, so you can use electronic calls.
Rodney, this weekend, Santa is at Santa's coming. I told you that, right?
To where?
Bass Pro Shop, actually.
Oh yeah, actually yes.
So yeah,
I was there tonight. The Bass Pro Shop. If you've not been there, if you take your kids up there, if you've got nothing to do this weekend, if you're not duck hunting or predator hunting or coyote,
they've got a lot going on, don't they?
They do. They do. They got a Ferris wheel inside. They've got tons of projects for the kids. They've got. It's just this. I just left there, and it's absolutely amazing. They do the Winter Wonderland every single year. I'll tell you what, check it out. It's free. I mean, you're not paying for this. I mean, this is like a little bitty amusement park, because if you take your kid to Disney World, especially anywhere up to 3 or 4 years old, you just wasted that money. You're taking your kid to Disney World, just say you did it.
Yeah.
That kid does not know where they are. I don't say what you want. Your kid's not that smart.
Take him out back and bury him and leave. So he'll be just as happy.
She's not going to remember being at Disney World. So don't give me that crap. Take him to Bass Pro Shop, save yourself a lot of money, and then take them to Disney World when they're old enough to know it, when they're 25. They can pay their own way. I love it. I love the Christmas music.
I love it. You gotta participate and
this is our
relish.
favorite time of the year.
Yes, it is.
This is absolutely our favorite time of year.
But speaking of Santa,
yes,
I want to read to you some comments here that mall Santas have actually received.
Really?
From real
Let's
kids.
do it. Dear Mall Santa.
Okay. These are actually requests from kids to Santa. For example, one kid says, I want a toaster that makes hot dogs instead of a Pop-Tart. Cool,
nice.
Right?
I'm down with that.
I like it. One says, I want a new liver. No, he was healthy, but just wanted a liver to play with and stuff. That's what he says to Santa. A remote control buffalo.
I love it. I wish you guys could see this. This is awesome.
For your eyes only.
Yeah.
A young boy gave me a list with a note that said, Dear Santa, thank you for bringing me everything on my list. Love, Anthony. And included a picture of Abe Lincoln. The little kid bribed me with a $5 bill. You go, boy.
I'll take it.
One boy wanted a penis book from a little guy who had trouble pronouncing peanuts. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
A giant shark. I would like a giant shark, Santa. This kid added that in lieu of an octopus or shark, he'd settle for a giant squid.
That's it. That's easy.
Well,
Santa could do that.
And it's nice to give Santa some flexibility.
Yeah,
some options.
Give him some room there to play.
This little boy didn't ask for presents at all, just for Santa to take his little brother away because he was annoying.
I've made that wish to Santa.
Bet you have.
I had 2 sisters.
How about a gallon jar of pickles, Santa? I want a gallon jar of pickles. And then there was a little boy who wanted to know.
That little boy's
Mom,
gonna be a doctor.
You want to take this one? A little girl was shy and would only nod when I asked her questions. Her mom started to lead her away, but she turned around to scream, I hate mac and cheese. Don't bring that. That wasn't my wife.
That wasn't my sister. I assure you, she's a Mac. That's all she wants for Christmas is mac
How about
and
this
cheese.
one? A little girl said she wanted a binder and a hole punch, but that her brother wanted a skateboard, and more than the binder, she wanted him not to get a skateboard. Sibling rivalry,
Kids
right?
say the darndest thing.
Sibling rivalry, and of course, last but not least, a unicorn that poops rainbows.
Ta-da!
There you go.
Everybody likes those.
Unicorn. My shopping list.
Ooh, absolutely love it.
Everything you want to talk tonight before shenanigans get the best of us?
You know what? Here's what I want to talk about. So, Mike, I'm pulling the trigger on my, not literally, I am going to buy the assault rifle. My Christmas
Stephen
present,
Schulteis, you listening to this, my friend?
I'm getting 2 Christmas presents this year. One is the assault rifle, and then the second, I'm buying a new reel. And it's not just any reel. It's a rod and reel combo. It's going to be right around $1,000. It's an offshore reel. I'm buying the Penn International 50, so we can troll, a little bit faster. So here's what we've learned now, and I've said it a million times. If you've stopped learning while you're fishing, you're done, or hunting, or anything learning. You're pretty much, you know what I mean. You can't. You're get off the water.
Sure,
you know it all.
Well, that's life. Stop living if you stop learning, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
so we've tried.
Not really. I mean, just don't really just stop.
Don't stop living. Then we'll be charged.
Don't want to encourage that kind of behavior.
Manslaughter. Just saying. So, we've learned that, our reels, while they are adequate, sometimes they're failing the more we use them, because they are the $130 range reels. And I've said it a million times. You buy those expensive reels for reasons, sealed bearings, just all the design for saltwater, design for fast troll.
Sure.
We've tried to fast troll with our reels, and it's just, you can't do it. Just not designed for that. So we're stepping up, and my buddy Manny and I they're getting a reel for themselves for Christmas. I'm getting me one for Christmas, so we have at least two, good fast trolling reels on our boats, so we can shoot from wahoo. We can get a little bit more in different species of fish. It just boils down, and if you're going to catch different species of fish, you got to have different reels, because trolling speeds make all the difference.
And trolling speed is relative too, right?
It is absolutely
depends
relative.
on what you're catching, where you're at, and what
that's
you're fishing
exactly
for.
right. While wahoo will hit, a slow moving reel or small slow moving bait, they're more apt to hit a fast moving bait.
What's the fastest you can move a boat and still have something hit it?
15 to 20 knots.
Really?
Yeah, I'm talking. You're moving 20 miles an hour across it. Just
I'll say at that point, it's just skipping across the
It's just
top,
skipping
right?
across the top of the water. You got some that are down deep, and just and the tension on the reel alone at that speed. It just you can't tighten the drag enough on some of those reels. So we have to get to a bigger reel. If we want to get it a little bit better species, then we have to change our reels. Now, we can fish everything less with the same reel, but with those a little bit cheaper reels, we can't go up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we can always go down with the good one, but we can't go up with the bad ones.
That makes sense.
That's going to be one of my Christmas presents. And then my other Christmas present is the assault rifle. If they still have them. I haven't even been there.
You'll shoot your eye out.
You could definitely shoot your eye out, and somebody else's if you're not careful. Everybody else is behind them. So, because that's the big, right now it's just guns are not looking good right now. We get a bad rap. The guns are getting bad raps here lately. And
so what are you saying? Get it while you can?
Here's the deal. They're not going to ban these rifles. It's just not going to happen. Some cities like Chicago has banned assault rifles. They're banned technically in California, where everything went bad.
Right. Sure.
The rifles that they attained were attained illegally, but not by them. They were bought by someone else, and then they bought them off of them. So it's gonna come down to, how did they get them, and how did we? Man, this is our last 10 minutes of the show. This is a big can to open.
So you're getting an assault rifle.
Yeah, so I'm getting an assault rifle. The
Good
bottom
for
line
you,
is,
little Rodney.
I figured out, if someone wants to kill, they're going to do it. Knife, butter knife, airplane, they're going to do it. It's just, but they're not going to ban guns. It's not going to happen. We have our Second Amendment right. Be different if it wasn't in the Constitution. This is etched in the Constitution. There's 300 million firearms in circulation right now. You're not getting rid of them. And at least 100 million people own those guns. 100 million people. You don't want to piss off 100 million people.
Right.
And you really don't. Because we're only going to be pushed so far and for so long. And I've said it from the beginning. If the people who would learn to, be we the people, we would straighten this government out. So we won't even get into political.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't get an ASR for that.
Yeah. So, so how about you, Mike?
Let's do some viewer mail. That's what I think.
Are we ready for
viewer
that?
mail, a couple more things. Yeah, of course we're ready for that. What do you think? We're crazy around here?
This is what we do.
If I hit the right button.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to do a game show.
That's it.
We get ladders. We get
Stop. Whoa, yes. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song.
Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. The mail is here. I knew you right or not made.
That's it. I love it. I wish I had my applause button.
There you go.
That's all right. I'll bring mine back.
Bobby, Miami, Florida says, Rodney, I live in Miami and fish the North Biscayne Bay Area. I only have about a year of experience in saltwater indoor fishing, but years of experience in rivers back home in Georgia. I'm having troubles locating fish since the cold fronts start pushing in through South Florida. I'm mainly fishing the flats for trout and snapper and trolling different lures for anything that will bite. In deeper areas with hardly any luck, if you could spare a few minutes of your time, any advice would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. That's that Biscayne Bay is that. So here's where you need to start. Get on Google Maps. Pull up Google Maps. Look for your deep troughs. Trough being little rivers that run in, and you can see them. They're the darker blue areas. So when you pull up your map, you'll see dark blue tracks running all through this. Those are all your troughs. That's where your fish are moving back and forth. In cold fronts, they'll go to those deep troughs and move back and forth to the ocean.
Okay.
Trout will not run to the ocean. They'll only run closer to inshore. So when cold fronts and stuff like that move in, it doesn't necessarily mean they moved offshore.
Interesting.
It just means that they're kind of holding tight. So you got to get in a little closer. Remember, strike zones. Get in closer to the strike zone. If you don't troll, be specific on the area that you're fishing. If you see stumps, redfish and trout are like bass. You know, if you fished rivers and stuff, you know how bass act. Trout and redfish are the same way. Get into those structures a lot closer. Trout are more apt to sit tight, where redfish will move back and forth a lot more. So remember, get in those troughs, find some structure, weeds, grass, in those deep troughs, and get your bait a lot closer.
Go deep.
Sit a lot longer.
Okay.
Go deep. Go deep or go home.
Okay.
Bobby.
Let's see. Jeffrey. Vallejo, California. I don't think we've had a question from California before.
We got one now.
As far as fishing line is concerned, how old is too old? When do I know when it's time to change my line?
First of all, I'm going to name my next child Vallejo.
Vallejo. Vallejo Rogers.
Vallejo.
It's a good question, Rodney.
It is a good question. What was the question again?
How do I know when it's time to change my line? How old is too old?
So good. I forgot the question in a minute. Well, first of all, you got to ascertain what line you have. Monofilament. If it's 6 months old, it's too old. In my book, monofilament has memory. So as you cast it, if you have monofilament, you cast it out, and you have
if you see the coil
loops in your line, coil in your line, it's too old. Get rid of it. Change it out. It's cheap. It's easy. I'm not saying don't fish with monofilament. I'm just saying, I don't ever use monofilament anymore. If you're fishing 100% fluorocarbon, it lasts 5 times longer. You can get about a year and a half out of that. It doesn't have
it's
the
more
memory.
expensive up front.
It's more
but
expensive
you might
up
not
front,
need to change
but you don't have to change it nowhere
so
near
all these
as
things
often.
factor into how often do you fish.
That's exactly right. And a lot of times you just get a couple pencils or pins and wrap your line up and give it a couple good jerks real tight. They start to snap on that. If it's 10 to 12 pounds, then you know it's time to change that. Or it gets cloudy. More fluorocarbon gets cloudy sometimes if it's on your reel too long. As far as braided line, when has it been on too long? I've got braided line on some of my poles that have been there for almost 8 years. So if you start seeing your line color that used to be green is almost white and has a lot of frays, you don't have to get rid of it. You just have to re-spool it onto another pole. So you put the newest line.
What's that do?
What that does is, because all your new line is closer to the spool.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when you have an empty pole.
Okay. It's the stuff on the outside that's getting used the most.
Exactly. You just basically rewind it the other way. Put the old stuff near the spool and the new stuff out the line. And you can run about 5 or 6 years and then switch it, and you got another 5 or 6 years.
Can you do this by hand, or do you have to take it somewhere and have somebody else do it?
No, you can do it by hand. Just put it on another pole, click the bell on the other one, hold your finger on it, and reel it on. Yeah. So that's how you do it.
Okay.
And then when you use that up, then you need to change your line out. A lot of people, like I said, put backer on their reels. They put monofilament backer, so they don't have that option when they get down to, their braided line. When you cast and you get down to your monofilament, you have to throw that line away.
Okay.
So I say spend the money in the front, because you can always, once you've used it, like let's say you have the spool of all braided line and you've used it so much that you don't have a lot, then you can back it and put it on another reel.
Okay.
You still have 5 years worth of line.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
Last question for the night, Rodney. Terry from Corpus Christi, Texas. Again,
Corpus
I think
Christi.
first Texas question we've had. How do I match the size of the hook or lure that I'm using to the fish that I am trying to catch?
If you're fishing for bass, no hook is too big. So don't fear that. So if
Even if it's a smaller pond?
Even if it's a smaller pond. I've caught some of my biggest fish. Well, you know, my last 13 pounder came out of a 5-acre pond. So their mouths are 10 inches wide. And, you know, the biggest of hooks, an 8-aught hook, is, you know, a 2-inch hook. Plenty of room for it. So if you're fishing for bass, no hook's too big. If they can't bite it, you don't want that fish anyway. If you're fishing for trout, then there's, you know, Corpus Christi. I know they have trout over there. So you kind of get out. I don't know what a good trout hook is, but I do know it's small. And that's where some of the hooks are barbless and that kind of stuff. So bluegill are always going to be a small hook, a 1-aught, 2-aught hook, just very small. And, you know, and there again, just look at the size of the mouth of the fish. Bluegill, trout are very small mouths. You got small mouths that are not like large mouths, but you can still use decent sized hooks.
Okay.
Did that help?
Yeah.
Did I make any sense there?
What if I'm fishing in a small pond and it's just, I know there's probably just perch. I mean, it's just a pond and maybe not bass. Should I not, but I need to pare it back a little bit? When do I choose intentionally to use a smaller hook?
When you're specifically fishing for a species.
You almost got to know what you're fishing for.
You got to decide. Yeah, you're not going to find one hook. Although my dad caught one of the state records back before there was a state record. He caught a 14-pound bass on a little bitty brim hook.
Really?
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't that he was fishing for brim and a bass bit his little minnow. So, you know, it's kind of that. You know, what do you could get a bass hit your small hook. So I've been reeling in small bass and have a bigger bass come and hit that little bass and then catch both bass, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, it's if you're specifically targeting that fish, pick that hook. Don't expect anything else. If anything else comes, it's a blessing. You know, it's kind of a, oh man, awesome.
Okay.
You know, so bass are apt to hit anything. They're apt to hit your bluegill once he bites that little bitty hook. I've seen it happen. So, you know, you just remember, target your species and then decide what hook you're going to use there. So target species, pick a hook, and then fish. You know, don't try to be an all-around one hook fits all kind of deal.
Good answer.
It's just not how it works.
Good answer.
Yeah. So
thank you from Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi. That's going to be my next daughter's name. Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi. Get in the house, girl.
Well, we've talked about some letters to Santa this time.
We talked a little bit about everything.
I think next week is the week before Christmas.
Yes.
So make sure to tune in next week because we're going to talk gift ideas. Of course,
yes, we are.
It's getting a little late in the game, but I know a lot of people shopping at Walgreens that last night.
Yes, they are.
So we're gonna. I want you and I to come up with your top 10 list.
Okay.
Because I got a bunch of ideas.
All right.
I have aggregated a bunch of lists, but I want you to come up with your top 10 Rodney Rogers gifts for the outdoorsman, and more importantly, we're gonna give a list of the outdoorsman to get for the outdoorsman's wives because we don't want to forget the wives.
While you say that, let me tell you something right now, and I want to tell you this now. So if you decide you want to order or whatever case may be, you need to do this now so you have your gift. Before I bought, as you know, I bought some knives. A couple of weeks ago, I really wanted to put this knife. Did you see the knife I was working with this week?
I did.
It was a pretty impressive knife.
Yep.
I had my doubts. I'm like, you know what? I've owned tons and tons of hunting knives. So I just want to throw out that I bought a Cutco knife. And that knife was it stayed absolutely razor sharp after throwing it at the tree, after sticking it in the wood, after peeling wood, and then cutting all of our meat for the week. From it now, the Cutco, you have to have a representative. So my representative is Daniel. So let me give you his phone number real quick. 407-744-7244. 4901.
It's going to interrupt. No, go ahead.
And give Daniel a call and look at his presentation for these nights. Now that
I was going to make him come back next week for the last number of the.
Oh,
10
okay, I
digits.
got you. So give Daniel a call. I'll tell you what, he'll do a presentation for you. He'll show you the knives, and you're going to be impressed. I'm impressed by an outdoor knife. I think this knife is really going to be.
And if you don't buy them, do you get a condo for the week?
You do get a condo. No, it is an expensive knife. I'm not going to lie to you. This knife is definitely. But I've got tons of expensive knives, and you know, and I've got.
Break them down at a price. What did it cost you? What you bought a knife or a set of knives?
I bought two knives. I bought a fillet knife that extends from 6 to 9 inches.
And what'd your receipt say? 2 knives
for both knives. We're running about $300.
Okay.
So if you are a knife guy and you know good knives, and I know what you're thinking, I can get a Walmart knife for $5. Well, guess what?
Nope.
That Walmart knife is going to dull in about the first 3 cuts.
A difference. Maybe we'll talk about that.
You're constantly sharpening.
Let's hammer it down to your top 10
next
week. I mean, like I said, I don't want to just throw a bunch of ideas out there. We'll sit this week and we'll narrow. We'll sort them all through and go. We've looked at all the different options. Here's Rodney's top 10 gifts.
I want to throw that out there.
Throw the top 10 gifts to get your wife for the outdoorsman's wife.
Definitely.
You don't want to forget them.
A knife.
I got one more letter to Santa, right? Oh, before we get into the last segment here, January 5th.
January the 5th is our 100th episode.
It's 4 weeks from tonight.
4 weeks from tonight. Yeah.
Tonight is
exactly
our 96th episode.
Tonight is our 96th. So 4 weeks from tonight, our 100th episode will be at Gnarly Barley. You've heard us for 3 years talk about, 2 years talk about this.
For sure.
You just Google Gnarly Barley. You can find it. You can find us there at any given time almost. So 100th episode, live 2-hour special. Come see us out there for sure. Mike?
Got one more letter to read for you, Rodney.
It's Charlie Brown.
More or less. Dear Santa, how are you? How's Mrs. Claus? I hope everyone from the reindeer to the elves is fine. I've been a very good boy this year. I would like an Xbox 360 with Call of Duty 4 and an iPhone 6 for Christmas. I hope you remember that come Christmas Day, Santa. Merry Christmas. Love, Timmy. Dear Timmy.
Dear Timmy.
Thank you for the letter to Mrs. Claus. The reindeers and the elves are all fine. I thank you for asking about them. Santa's a little worried all the time. You're spending playing these video games and texting. Santa wouldn't want you to get fat. Since you've indeed been a good boy, I'll bring you something you can go outside and play with. Obviously, you've been listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Mr. Claus, seeing that I have fulfilled versus nice contract set by you, I might add, I feel confident that you can see your way clear to granting me what I've asked for. I am certainly you would not want to turn your joyous season into one of litigation. Also, you don't think that a jibe at my weight coming from an overweight man who goes once a year is a bit trite? Respectfully, Tim Jones. Mr. Jones. While I acknowledge that you may have met the nice criteria, need I remind you that your Christmas list is a request and is in no way a guarantee of services provided.
Okay.
I don't have my music. It's not the same without the music, Rodney. You know what I'm saying, right?
Oh, yeah, I got you, man.
Should you wish to pursue legal action, that is well within your right. Please know, however, the Meisterburger incident, and will be more than happy to take you on in open court. Additionally, the exercise I alluded to will not only improve your health, but also improve your social skills and potentially help you clear up that complexion that looks like the bottom of the Burger King fry bin. Bottom of the Burger King fry bin. Very truly yours, S. Claus. We're almost done, Rodney.
No, I got it. I want to hear it. I'm in for the long haul.
I didn't realize Santa interacted back and forth so much. Look here, fat man. I told you what I want, and I expect you to bring it. I was attempting to be polite at this, but you brought my looks and my friends into this. Now you just be disrespecting me. I'm about to tweet my boys, and we're going to be waiting for your fat carcass. And I'm taking my game console, my game, my phone, whatever else I want. Whatever I want, man. T-bone. Listen, Pizza Face. Seriously. You think a dude that breaks into every house in the world on one night never gets caught, so it's a skinny G-banger like you want to be? He sees when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. Sound familiar, genius? You know what kind of resources I have at my disposal? I got you wired, Jack. I go all around the world and see ways to hurt people that if I describe them right now, you throw up your Tortino's pizza roll all over your carpet in your mom's basement. You're not getting what you asked for. But I'll be stopping by your crib to stomp a mud hole in your face and then hey, chew on that, Petunia. Dear Santa, please bring me whatever you see fit. I'll appreciate anything. Timmy. Timmy. Thought so. Santa.
Woo, and as my mama said 18 million times.
Wait, what? What? such a cold-hearted ending to a
awesome.
wonderful, warm show.
That was
I'm
awesome.
gonna go right to your mama's quote for the day. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for everyone who attended our
Christmas
second annual,
extravaganza.
biannual camping trip.
I like extravaganza.
Extravaganza. It was an extravaganza. We will see you next year and next week.
And 18 million times. I pray I get to say it half as much. You kids get outside and stay.